Greetings. This is TKTRAV, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I initially wanted to make this video about my first time doing a necromancy ritual and getting in contact with a spirit who had passed on to the other side. But unexpectedly, I had a client come through just as I pressed the record button, and he needed an emergency tarot card reading. So that kind of changed the atmosphere a little bit. Yeah, very interesting. You know, won't really get into the detail of the situation, but I still get filled with wonder, you know, whenever I do these readings. No matter how many times I do them, it's always exciting just to see, because, you know, I'm so used to the correlation, the correspondence, the synchronicity in my life. To see it happening for somebody else, it's still very exciting, you know, and to get the shared mutual goosebumps, you know, when things become so close. But yeah. Typically when I do a tarot reading, I still use the Goetic spirit Vasago, number 3. I usually always invoke him before doing a tarot card reading, because with his proficiency in clairvoyance and seeing hidden things, pretty much every time I invoke Vasago before doing a tarot card reading, it's as if I'm reading the person's mind, right? It's pretty wild. Out of respect for the client's personal life, I'm not going to share what exactly went down, but yeah, I couldn't have made it up myself. I couldn't have planned it out that way if I tried. Down to the birth signs of each individual in question appearing on the cards. You know, the 6 of Pentacles, where he's actually holding the scale, right? Representing the person who is actually a Libra. You know, we had the Queen of Cups. You know, we had a person in question who was a Pisces. But yeah, what I really wanted to talk about is tarot is a tool, okay? Tarot is a system of divination where you can really tap into the ether and see what's going on behind the scenes. But you don't want to let it turn into a crutch where every day you wake up, you got to check your tarot cards and see what's going on, you know, letting the cards rule you. You don't want to do that, because you're forgetting that the magic is within you. Ultimately, the power is within you, right? One of my first tarot clients was a lady named Debbie, and, you know, she was going through a real rough spot in her life, and, you know, we get to talking about spiritual things, and I mentioned that I read tarot, and I offered to read for her. And, you know, she was excited. She came over, we laid out the cards, and the cards began to reveal situations in her life, and an unexpected positive option was presented. So naturally she got excited. You know, it was about meeting a new guy, meeting a younger guy. And of course that put a little bit of pep in her step. But the thing is, she began to call me over and over again to have these readings done. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoy getting paid to do this, but I also see when this is becoming, you know, a crutch instead of helping. This is becoming an emotional crutch. And, you know, I can't really vibe with that. I can't do that for too long. You know, I'm here to help, right? I'm here to give guidance. I'm here to help clarify things. But I'm not going to be an enabler to a fantasy world, right? It began to be every little thing she wanted to ask about the cards. And, you know, for a while I did it, but I didn't like where it was going, you know. I even offered to teach her how to read so she could do it for herself. But the thing that you really gotta understand is the tarot divination systems in general, whether it's runes, scrying, you know, whatever you're doing to get information from the spirit world, whether it's astrology even, don't use that as what you plan your life off of. Okay, it's great to get clarification, but understand that reality starts in here, right? Your world starts in here. We, as members of the Magick Society, as practicing occultists, we understand that the subconscious mind generates reality. So we take the initiative and we take control of our subconscious mind. We override the five senses and we begin to plan our reality out, right? We don't simply ask the cards, what's going on in my life? We make moves. We do rituals. We plan, right? Because we're not victims of circumstance. If you allow yourself to be a victim of circumstance, you're going to be tossed to and fro by your five senses, by your emotions, by the media, by the people around you who don't understand your spiritual path, right? How are you going to have somebody guiding your life and telling you what to do when they really don't understand what you're going through, right? So we reclaim our power, right? We take control of our lives. We think about our purpose. We think about what we're here to do, what we would love to be doing with our lives. And we plan and we focus our attention on how to get onto that path, how to stay on that path, and how to enhance that path, right? And if we need some clarification here and there, we'll go to the tarot cards. We'll go to a divination spirit like Vasago from the Goetia. But we don't let those things rule us. We don't let them control us or guide us. They're tools that we use, just like the entities and the spirits that we communicate with. Nobody over here worships demons. Nobody worships angels, right? We don't worship concepts and ideas, because essentially that's what these things are. All these spirits are an apparatus for us to interact with our own energy. In other words, we use the spirits as almost like masks that our subconscious mind can wear and communicate with us through. Because there is a gap, an abyss, a gulf in between the logical mind and the subconscious mind, right? And that chasm is so wide and so deep, it's damn near impossible to cross with thought alone. So the way to override that canyon is through symbols, through repetition, and even through trauma. Because these are the three things that affect the subconscious mind. Period. Anything else doesn't penetrate as deeply. So when we're working with spirits, when we're working with tarot cards, when we're working with candles, all these things are symbols. We allow those symbols to bypass the logical mind and go straight to the subconscious. That's how the Goetia works, right? Each one of these symbols represents a certain type of energy that already exists within. We just use the sigils as keys to unlock these energies, and we practice how to simulate that energy within us and how to use it properly to get what we want out of life. Right? So we're not on our knees worshiping statues or imaginary figures. We're using these things as tools to enlighten ourselves. That's all this is. All this magic is figuring out a proper apparatus to understand how reality works. It's ancient psychology is what it is. Right? The world is built upon different energies dancing and circulating, right? Our minds and our bodies are built upon different energies dancing and circulating. Just like in the days of Greece and Rome. They didn't sit here and pray and believe that these giant people were up on top of Mount Olympus. These were symbols, right? They understood what they were doing. Mount Olympus represented this place that was beyond human reach. And each one of those entities, deities from the pantheon, represents a certain archetype of energy, right? Zeus, the king, the father. Hades, the lord of the underworld, right? Hermes, messenger of the gods. All these different entities represented a certain energy and a certain archetype. And the priests of old understood how to take a hold of that energy and apply it to their lives and the lives of the people around them. And that's the same thing that we're doing here, right? Every now and then I'll get a comment from somebody who is, I guess, trying to be a Christian warrior, and they say, oh, everything you're doing is sinful, it's against God, God hates what you're doing, this, that, and a third. And I gotta check them, because I'm not one of these people on YouTube who suddenly picked up the Necronomicon or the Satanic Bible and, is trying to get people to convert to Satanism. I'm not trying to get anybody to convert to anything. The state of organized religion in this world is miserable. Nobody in their right mind wants to be a part of that. Now, before I got into any of these books, I thoroughly studied the Bible, right? My Bible is damn near worn out from how many times I've flipped through those pages and marked passages, right? And, my response to each one of these guys that tell me I shouldn't be playing with demons, etc., my response is go and look into Luke, right? The chapter called Luke, verse 17 through 19, right? Where Jesus is talking about the 72. And not only is he talking about the 72, he's telling his disciples that they have power and dominion over these demonic spirits, that they have authority to control them and utilize them. Okay? So before you come onto my page thinking that I don't know anything about Christianity, you check your book and you check that verse. Read that whole chapter. The tarot cards are a tool. Astrology is a tool. The goetic spirits are a tool. The angels of the Shemham Mepharash are tools. They're tools for utilizing energy through the mind and applying it into this physical reality. You don't have to like it. It works for me. And I've taught other people how to use it, right? But I do want to say, understand that these are tools. Don't get hung up on them. The real magic is your mind. Understanding that the subconscious mind is the generator of reality allows you to now ask the question, okay, what reality do I want and how do I generate it? What symbols do I need to put into my mind to generate a specific reality? What do I need to repetitiously do every day to get to a certain reality? Doesn't sound so woo-woo fantasy when you put it that way. It sounds like basic planning. It sounds like basic self-improvement. This is what ascension is. It's self-improvement, except we take it beyond the human level. We're navigating through the spiritual here. Without trying to sound deep and mystical and cool, right? We'll let somebody else do that. Meanwhile, we get into the facts. Meanwhile, we're doing the work. Join the Magus Society, the Facebook group, and you're going to see that we've got hundreds, if not thousands, I think we're in the thousands now, of books that you can research, book suggestions, right? All the information you could ever want or need, pertaining to chakras, pertaining to all number of spirits, right? Pertaining to psychology and mind control and how to use mind control and how to break free from mind control, right? All types of subjects. This is the age of Aquarius, the pouring out of information and knowledge. If you're going around telling people what they cannot do because you don't believe in it, you're wrong. This is no longer the time for that. You had all the age of Pisces to do that. This is now the age of Aquarius. It's all out there. And if you want to become something greater, if you want to stop trying and failing and wasting your time with outdated methods, then come try this new path where we use a little bit of everything, right? Where we're not scared anymore of evil demons that are going to tear our soul apart. No, because these evil demons are reflections of you. They're your shadow, right? And when you dig deep and dive deep into your shadow, you take the light of your pineal, of your third eye, into that shadow realm, and you realize that these are your legions, your army. You have to tame them. You have to train them, just like Pokemon, right? Now you recruit them and you use them for your benefit. You gotta trust your intuition. You gotta trust your magic. You gotta trust yourself. You gotta let go of the fear. Okay? You may not have all the answers. That's okay. Put forth your effort. Put forth your effort and trust yourself. Trust your process. It's a process. You're not going to get there overnight. You got to go through the experiences. You got to go through the pain, right? If you've got unresolved trauma from the past, you're going to have to face that demon. You're going to have to face it and balance it to where it no longer affects you or no longer hurts you. So now you can look back and say, I mastered that. Now you're stronger. To master your insecurities, right? That's what we're here to do. That's why we're doing this, to make ourselves better than what we are. All the tools are here, all of them. We're not missing a thing. You don't need anything special. All my rituals I do with 1 or 2 candles, the sigil, some nice music, you know what I'm saying, and my focus. I don't spend a bunch of money buying a bunch of stuff on Amazon. I don't go metalworking and craft working. And you can do that if you want, right? You can do it if you want, but you don't have to. Because all these things are tools. The magic is your mind. I mean, don't have to go too much deeper than that. You really don't. If you want to stay in the fantasy, if you want to stay in the illusion, you can be that over there. Go do that if that's what you want to do. But us here in the Magus Society, we're at war with the illusion, right? With lies. It just doesn't fly. It just doesn't fly over here. It's too much truth going on to still be stuck in the illusion. Now, I'm not saying we're enemies with the people who are stuck in the illusion. No, because they're going to wake up when the time is right for them. But we don't submit to the manipulation that's being fed to us by the outdated system. No. And anyone who's associated with perpetuating the outdated system. Your energy no longer affects us. We are free. We are free. We are embracing our freedom. We're utilizing our freedom. And we're all coming together under one accord, and we're making real change. So if you want to be a part of this real change, read these books, practice these techniques, meditate, work on your chakras, stop being scared. Stop being scared. Sit down in a dark room with a candle and a mirror and face yourself. Right? Are you scared of invisible monsters? Or are you scared of what's really in the back of your mind that you've been running from? Or something that's hurt you in the past? Or some unresolved conflict? Sit in that mirror and face it. And when you come out of that room, you're going to be stronger than you've ever been. That's the only ritual you need to do. So many people are lost. So many people are broken and damaged. And that's tragic. But we're not relying on the victim mentality. You can be healed. You can be fixed. It just takes effort. It takes the right effort. The correct effort. Don't run from pain. Face it. And when you overcome it, it is no longer pain. It's now a badge of honor. Because now you're stronger. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Continue living asleep with the five senses ruling your every thought. Or take a hold of your thoughts and control your thoughts and control the reality that you produce by controlling your thoughts. Is this so difficult to understand? I don't think so. I think this is extremely simple. I do. And I think that's why I'm so damn good at it. Because I understand that it's simple. Not easy, but simple. Look, all you guys that have been rocking with me, I love you all. I do. I really appreciate your comments. I appreciate the love. And super special thank you to those of you who have donated to me through the Cash App. I really appreciate that. I really do. As I keep saying, we've got some big things planned for the next coming months, so stay tuned. Got some great stuff on the way. Got some great collaborations, things of that nature. But yeah, just another discussion, another day, another great day. Command your reality. Speak into existence what you want. It works. Affirmations. Speak it. Speak your existence day after day. This is TKTRAV, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777.
Good evening.
Peace.